Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm going to share with you two new 2026 planners that are currently available to purchase. They're produced by Rockpool Publishing and they're available on their website or other online retailers if you're interested in these. They were released in June 2025. So if you like getting your planners early, this might give you some inspiration. I've not used this one before, this is new to me, but I have used the Moon Goddess diary and reviewed it before on my channel. Notice I'm using the word diary. I'm just going to show you. This is the one that I reviewed for 2025, and they used to use the word diary, as you can see. And I immediately noticed the change with the next one with the word planner. Got me thinking about, what do you use it for? I suppose we all have different purposes. I think we've often said diary, haven't we? I'll put it in my diary. But do we use it more for writing our future plans? Depends, I guess. Got me thinking about where I use mine. I have been using this one, by the way, so I have got to say I really love it. The format. I actually use mine to plan my readings ahead for the month, because I also do like members readings and stuff, so I do plan and social events. But I do also write sometimes like things that I've done that I just want to record, sort of when I did it, for example. But yeah, interesting that they've changed the wording. So I just wanted to sort of highlight that first of all. So I'll show you both of them separately. I thought we'd start with the Moon Goddess Diary first of all. So it is really lovely to feel. It's like a sort of linen, best way I can describe it. I really like the design on the front as well. It's quite tropical, isn't it, with the palm trees and the gold writing on the front there. This is by Nicci Garaicoa. I hope I said that correctly. As I said, it's by Rockpool. It's available in, I think most countries, US, UK, Australia, etc. It says, unleash the ocean magic of the beach goddesses in 2026. So it's quite nice the way they change every year. As I said, because I have been using this diary. And you get, basically for each month, to show you, you get a goddess. So you get the picture of the goddess and then information. So let's have a little flick through. There's a bit about the author, Nicci Garaicoa. An introduction. So it says, I began crafting these planners with the profound understanding that each full moon is a sacred opportunity gifted to us, a sacred chance to shed what no longer serves our highest good. How to use the planner. So I like what she writes. The planner is a canvas longing to be adorned with your unique expressions. Write, draw, colour, paint, paste and doodle to your heart's content. I do like that vibe actually for this planner, because if you've seen my other reviews or if you've used this diary, you'll know that each season you get these things you can work through. So here we've got the Winter Wellness Companion. And you can, yeah, you can doodle, write other things in there, which I do. It's got that vibe about it, quite sort of playful and creative. So here you select a goddess. So for winter, let's just have a look. We've got January, the goddess of mermaids, for example. So you could, have a look ahead, see the goddesses. February, goddess of shells. Beautiful illustrations, as you can see. And then March, goddess of the sun. Yeah, and then it says, as you flip through the pages, pause when you reach January, February and March. Take a moment to gaze upon each goddess's image and absorb the essence described. Which goddess resonates most deeply with you for the season? This is the goddess I've chosen to walk alongside me throughout the winter of 2026 is, and you write it. She will envelop me in the healing energy of her, and you write it in. So you can really work with a goddess, which is quite nice. Then there's colour therapy. Choose a hue that speaks to your soul and inscribe it here. Sonic soothing. Body movement magic. So things you're going to do. So I guess this is why it's more of a planner. I can see why they've changed the word. You're writing your intentions for the month or the months ahead. I've really enjoyed doing this, by the way, as well. It's quite nice that I've used this diary, I think, so I can give my input. Just something to focus on for each season. And you can look back and say, did I do it? So we've got plant medicine, aromatherapy magic, crystal medicine. So the crystal I'm choosing to support me for winter is called, you write it, creative heart expression. Choose an artistic practice that calls to you, whether it's painting, writing, knitting or any form of creative expression. And then write what you're going to do on the lines there. And then here there's winter delights. Okay, so this is quite a new one, I think. For an extra sprinkle of magic, let's celebrate the things we love most about winter. Cosy evenings by the fireplace, crisp morning walks in the fresh chilly air, indulging in homemade comfort foods like hearty soups, stews, and freshly baked treats. Yes, it's really positive, isn't it? Having something to look forward to is always good. And you can make things to look forward to, which I think is the point Nicci's trying to make with this. So, yeah, as I said, I really love it, I've got to say. And then, so here's an example with January, goddess of mermaids, and there's quite a lot of writing included there. There's also a mantra. The goddess of mermaids mantra is, I embrace my strength and creativity, flowing with grace. I trust my journey and celebrate my inner magic. So really nice, positive vibes. And then what I also like when I've used the diary is like these little notes on some of the dates. So let's just see one for an example. Like here, for example, 1st of January, sending you oceans of love for a very happy new year. Beautiful one. Here's to igniting magical, expansive and epically light-filled 2026 for you. So really lovely positive notes throughout as well that uplift you. I really like that. personally. As I said, having used it, so maybe I'm a bit biased. So then we've done March, then we come to Spring Wellness Companion. So the same thing as we just looked at. Again, you look ahead, and then again the goddesses. We've got Goddess of Jellyfish. Oh, I love that one. You know, something I just wanted to know, I really love the illustrations. I believe it's Olivia Burki. Let me just check that. Yeah, so I just paused the camera, everyone. It does say here, illustrated by Olivia Burki. Because they also did a deck, a Moon Goddess deck, and it was the same collaboration. What I wanted to say was the images are so beautiful that when I've finished using the diary in the past, I've thought, oh wow, that would be really lovely to put in a frame, you know, or just on your wall or something, or just to keep the image. But they put the date up there, which kind of gets in the way. So you could cover it up, I suppose, or cut it, but it's a shame, because I think, especially for younger kids as well, you know, like they like sticking pictures on their wall, they might really appreciate doing that. So that's the only thing. And the other thing I noticed was, because I use this, as I said, I've sort of noticed this, it's the fact that they put the month at the side. So they've got APR. And in fact, if you close it, I'm not sure if you can see, but it's like very faint tabs. So you can count January, February, March, April, and that is in fact April. So that's quite good. But it took me a while to find it. That's what I wanted to point out. I was kind of looking at the top for April, you know, in bold. But it's kind of more like a journal format, I suppose, at the side. So you've really got to sort of, when you're looking through, look at the side to check the dates, the month. But really lovely colour coordination, as you can see, with the ribbon, which is brown, the sort of bronze brown, and on the front as well. So, you know, they really do put things together in a really lovely way. There you go, so there's October, Goddess of Seaweed, that's beautiful as well. I really love that one. So that's it really, that's the format. I really love it. I think there's a lot of space as well to write things in on the pages there, and this is about space for doodling, you know, like on these pages, just writing notes and things like that, other things. Very creative, inspiring planner, not diary, as I mentioned. So I hope that's given you an idea of what you get with this one. As I said, having used it, I really do love it, I've got to say. I've really enjoyed the sort of inspiring aspect and positive aspect to this one. So let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think you'll get it? Have you used it before? What do you think? What do you think of the change of diary to planner as well? So we'll put that one to one side. So the next one we're looking at is the 2026 Lunar and Seasonal Planner by Stacy DeMarco. As you can see, this is the Northern Hemisphere, but they have Northern and Southern, so make sure you check that if you're purchasing online. It says, your most powerful annual magical companion is here. The 2026 Lunar and Seasonal Planner empowers you to be at your best all year round. Inside it you'll find seasonal and lunar timings and their impacts, and clear explanations of the cyclic energies of the earth to help you get the most out of your 365 days around the sun. A bit about Stacy, the author. Stacy DeMarco, the modern witch, is one of Australia's most respected metaphysicists and pagan practitioners. Her passion is to make practical magic accessible to everyone. So obviously this is by Rockpool as well, both of them are, as I said at the beginning. This is a bit bigger lengthwise than the first one we looked at, and as you can see, very different inside because it's got the sort of ring binder effect, which is a bit like a sort of cookbook style, isn't it? And there's this little sleeve here, you can put notes in or whatever, maybe things to do or something in that one. I really like the blossom design on this image. So we've got the whole calendar for the year, first of all. How to use the planner. Seems the idea Stacey's giving is like that we're part of nature. She said here, I wanted the human animal that we are to again hook into the idea that we are a part of nature, not apart from it. And that really comes through with the images, I think, that have been used. And when I had to look through this, I thought it was really interesting. It was kind of like a book, I found. There's some really interesting stuff in here, I've got to say. So here about spellcraft, how and why they work, the spiritual path, the scientific path, 5 top casting tips. Because throughout this diary there are some spells as well, which I'll show you. Spell casting made easy. There, and you can write some notes. Timings and moon cycles. Yeah, because like full moon, new moon are important for whether you're manifesting or trying to banish something, for example. What the moon phases mean. Yeah, so full moon, full energy, big energy, gives you high impact results, a great time to explore and find your true path. Waning moon, the moon is growing smaller, energy is reduced. It's a good time to perform spells with a purpose and intention of getting rid of something that no longer serves you, or to reduce an obstacle. And then dark moon, no moon is visible. It's a time of introversion and rest. New moon, the time to make 7 wishes, occurs the day after the dark moon. A great time for casting spells to do with health and for the beginning of projects or businesses. And a waxing moon, energy is growing and expanding. A powerful time to ask for more money, positive relationships and better health. So it's really interesting, isn't it? I think as a guide, a lot of stuff that I didn't know when I had to look through it. There's also tides there and other timings, dawn, sunset, midday, midnight. Also equinox and solstice. So, as I said, it's really interesting if you're into this. It's not something I know a lot about, spellcasting, that is. So, yeah, I read it all and I thought, wow, this is really interesting. Even if you're not going to do it, So, elements and directions, north, south, east, west, wheel of the year, as well. So using the elements and directions in your spells gives another layer of powerful symbology and energy. Yeah, then there's like different times of the year: Halloween, Yule, Candlemas, Ostara, Beltane, Litha, Lammas and Mabon. So I'm not going to go through it all, but I mean, there's a lot in here that I think is really interesting. Deities of the moon, talismans, lunar energies and crystals, crystals for moon phases, you've got them all there, the moon and plants, and then here it's more about your goals, so getting clear about 2026. Some things you can do: what are my values, what are my needs, what am I devoted to, what do I want to be devoted to. This is quite interesting, my intentions and the steps I will take for each month. So you could look in advance for the year, for that one. New Year's gateway jump is a gateway ritual that you can do. And then the month begins. So there's a lovely colour image on the page. January, so again there's some goals you can do before the month. What would I like to create? What are the most important dates for me? What would give me joy this month? What am I devoted to? Ideas, musings, rituals and actions. And then, as I said, there's a spell for the month. So this one, spell to reduce procrastination. And it's really in detail what you need, what to say. There's even like a bit there to read about the Hora, if I said that correctly, the Greek goddesses of the seasons and important passages of time. So it's quite detailed, isn't it? I've got to say, I was really taken aback because I've never looked at this diary before or used it. Going to be a really interesting one to dip into, I think. I think it's a nice format, lots of space to write things on there. And with this one you can see the month written quite clearly at the side there. I think I do prefer that, if I'm honest, compared to the other one that we just looked at. It's very clear. And then the same format, so we've got beautiful illustration there, and then again things for the month, for February, and we've got Yue Lao, a strange god with many strange stories attached, but he's generally recognised as the god of marriage and love in Chinese mythos. And here we've got attracting a strong and happy relationship spell for February, so in time for Valentine's. Okay, there's more here. Wheel of the Year for February. Imbolc. The ancient Celtic festival honours the mighty goddess Brigid in her life-affirming fire aspect. And there's things to read there. So, see what I mean about, you know, you could either read it all right before you use it, or each month you could read, you know, what they give you, do the spell for that month, however you want to do it really. But there you go, the same, looks like it's the same format. So March, there's a spell for healthy and beautiful hair. There's someone there with the lovely flowing golden hair as well. This one's got a ribbon as well, in case you're wondering. So I've got to say, I'm really impressed by this one, how detailed it is. You know, all the stuff you get at the beginning, about how to prepare for spells. It is important, I guess, to know that, you know. And then a spell that you can do. Then there's more information about the time of the year, spring equinox. So it's really informative as a diary. So at the back here we've got notes and musings. It's always nice to have that section. The moon phases. There are some websites there. And then about the author. That's the deck, yes. Queen of the Moon. I was trying to think of the deck of hers that I have. She did Queen of the Moon. I believe Queen of the Sun, that's it, as well. I did a review on my channel. In fact, I just went to get it from my box. There it is. Queen of the Sun by Stacy DeMarco. Yeah, also by Rockpool. And there is a review and walkthrough of this one here on my channel in the reviews and walkthroughs playlist. So there you go. That's it. And there's a lovely little pocket there at the back as well. So this one is really like a book. There's a lot in there. If you're new to spellcasting, it might be a good one to use, I would say. And then just to pull this one out again, the Moon Goddess. It's really lovely, really positive, inspiring. Nice little notes and touches throughout, things you can do each month, each season, I guess, but then you sort of focus on it each month. So they're both really lovely, I have to say. I think, I was drawn to both of them, and I thought it'd be nice to look at another one this year. And then, as I said, having used it, seeing then which one is your sort of go-to, so to speak. So what about you? Which one are you drawn to? Which one do you think you would use or maybe purchase yourself if you're interested? Really hope you've enjoyed this. Thought I'd do them both side by side. There you go, as you can see the size difference. That one's just wider and just a little bit longer. So not that much different, but this one is quite a big, sort of, it looks more like as I said, like recipe book sort of thing, in style, or planner with the ring binder. And this is like a little book, quite handy. You could put that in your bag quite easily. It's quite nice and compact. So they're different in their own ways, aren't they? But I think they're both lovely. I'm saying that honestly. Really hope you enjoy them, enjoyed looking at them, and if it's helped you make a decision, then I'm glad to have been of help. So thank you so much for being here with me, and I'll see you all very soon.